So we're back and still in a bit of chaos. We still have to fully unpack, but we're back. Speaking of back, my computer is also back. And I know I said it was also back last week, but it wasn't back. So here's a fun story for you guys, and my apologies to some of the friendly people I spoke to at Origin PC, but as far as the product and experience went, I gotta give you guys my honest opinion. It wasn't great. I got that computer built by Origin. Obviously I had to send it back. There was a motherboard issue that was out of their control. Communication while it was sent away was not ideal. I expressed this, but we got past that. I got the PC back, but then we still had issues, and I thought the motherboard fixing would have fixed it, but it turns out there was a temperature issue, and there were two issues that were causing it. One was all of the fans were facing into the PC. There was no air outlet, and that comes down to whoever built the PC, which is a very dumb, basic mistake to make. And then the second thing is whatever overclocking settings they put on, which I paid for to get the CPU overclocked, were not good. I don't know if it's because it's the new i9 chip, so they just used like i7 overclock settings on the i9 and it was too much voltage or something, but it was peaking at 100 degrees Celsius very quickly every time I tried to render a video, which is not good. But I took it to my brother who helped me out, and he just tweaked it. He reset the overclocking stuff, reconfigured the fans, and now it's not like going crazy hot anymore. Now it's peaking at like 74. It's fine now. Fingers crossed it's going to be stable, but I'm sorry Origin, I have to give you guys an honest review because that wasn't a great experience. I'll let you guys know when I love a product and when I don't love the experience of a product. That said, today I'm going to try a new product. Some of you will remember recently I tried out the Touch New markers. That was sort of like a bit of a gag video that turned out to be quite surprising as far as the results are concerned. But today I'm going to open up these Chameleon markers. I've been asked about these a bit by people, and I've been curious about them. I think I've seen them in action once or twice, but I'm curious to use them myself, see what they're like, and they sent me quite a bunch. We've got two big boxes, so I'm going to open those up on camera and film a bit of a play around with some new toys. God, I've got garbage everywhere. We're back to normal, sort of, mostly. We're pretty much back to normal. The backup computer is back in its rightful place under the WorkSafe poster, which indicates how my computer has been feeling, but now I'm all back, I'm all set up. I feel like home again. Finally and I got the right button things on my thing, and the computer's all like in there with the cables in it. You don't care. I freaking care so much. This is the last like month. How long is month and a half? The last month and a half has been torture because it's taken so long to get my computer back and functional and good. But I feel like it's good now, and I really hope it doesn't die on me again. But I've been betrayed before, but I really hope that I'm not gonna. I really hope. Today we're going to experiment with Chameleon markers. Alright, I've recorded the intro and a little experimentation with these markers. They're kind of cool. I don't know if they're mega cool yet, so I'm going to spend the next few hours like diving deep and trying to create an epic artwork. But really, like their practical, longer term use it may be different from person to person, and how much you're going to rely on and want the blending thing. I'll give you a bit of a preview as to how it works though. And I will say the blending between colors and from light to dark and dark to light is impressively good. I will say that. They're just a bit clunky and a bit awkward to actually apply that soak-in blending chamber mechanism thing. So I'll show you how it works. I'll pick two quite different colors. I've got my purple of the marker and then the orange of this blending chamber, mixing chamber. So basically the idea is you get the tip and the chamber and you put it inside like that, and you can just let it sit like this, and the longer you hold it vertically, the more ink it's going to soak up. I think there's obviously the slight issue of adding unnecessary wait time for every time you want to add a color to blend, but that is offset by how cool and effective the blend is. So I'm just gonna wait another 15 seconds. So we take the chamber off, and there you go. You can immediately see we've got the orange. You can sort of go into larger areas if you want. Let's say you're colouring in something larger. And that soaked in quite a lot because I waited for like, I guess it must have been like, I don't know, 30 seconds or something. And you can see it's getting quite a bit darker. And that's how that works, which is pretty cool. Like you can see in that sort of one blend, that's a pretty flawless blend. Now there is something I'm not super happy with, which is like if it's streaky here, I might want to go back and like smooth it out. So either you'll need the original color that you blended with, which I have, so I can sort of go in here but that's quite a bit darker. So you're sort of losing the smoothness of the blend by going back to try and do that. We could use a colorless blender in theory to try and soften it, but that's a little aggressive. I do want to give these markers the benefit of the doubt. It was very kind of them to send them to me, which is also useful because frankly, I wouldn't have bought them myself. That sounds mean to say. They're very well packaged and they're nice colors and stuff, but I have felt that maybe there's a bit of a gimmick there, but I'm going to find out in the next few hours. And I am more impressed with the blending effectiveness when you do the soak-in thing than I expected I would be. So how practical that is in art is going to be different per person, and I guess I'm going to figure out how that feels for me.
Or let them draft all they wanted and then just kill them when they broke the halo. Still, what 19-year-old was going to take retirement? Wow. From the screens, the blood rogues who had fled into the woods were encountering the will-cast jaguars and mountain lions waiting there. In the darkness, those who fled had no chance. And get the war dogs going up Tenling Rise over there. Send some mounted men with them in case it's a long pursuit. The one on the rise will be mounted, trying for speed.
I finished video number 1. I'm moving on to video number 2. My big pieces of paper, and I'm going to try and create art out of shadows. How will I do this, you ask? You didn't ask, but I'm going to tell you. I got a lamp. I think I broke it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I broke my lamp. It's fine. It'll be fine. So this is my setup ready to go. As you can see, I have a whole bunch of oddly shaped toy things that I'm going to use in the video. And I'm going to switch between having the lights on and having this light on, which I've set up to cast a bit of a shadow. So I'm going to trace around the shadows and turn it into stuff. That's the idea of the video. I'm practicing my transition of light. So basically the idea is to switch this off and those lights on instantly. And the way I'm doing this, you should be impressed with this. Down under the desk is that's the power board plugged into this little switcher. So when I press this, it turns off and on the power board. So by pressing them both at once, it means I can instantly, requires some accuracy. I can instantly, did that work? I don't even know if it worked. Yeah, there you go, instantly transition. We have a lot of fun with art on this channel. I don't tend to take it too seriously. I guess you could say my approach is pretty lighthearted, but today I'm going to swap that for a bit of darkness. This creature is some sort of mix of random things. I don't know. It's I invented it for this thing, whatever this is. It's pretty majestic though. I'm sure you'll agree. Alright, that does it for the day. Well, I mean technically the week, because I've only done the one vlog after VidCon here. I've worked 2 days this week, and then I have the weekend. So I've taken it easy, and I'll be back in full swing next week, but this is the last vlog for this work week. So I'm going to wrap up with the question of the day. Tyler Gehring says, real question here, how much did it burn that James is better at merchandising? James referring to The Odd Ones Out. Like, geez, James the Odd Ones Out logo was everywhere at VidCon. Jazza, real quick, talking to get your face everywhere. Ask James his secret to holding out on you, man. I kid. I'm glad you had such an amazing time. I know you sort of added at the end you were joking there, but it's true. James is way way better at merchandising, but also because he sort of can and should. There are different ways you can and should merchandise, or I guess monetize your brand. And the most effective way for me to do that in a way that complements my content is actually sponsorships. And I can do that way better than James can, because he does one video a month or every 2 or 3 weeks at the most. Whereas because now I'm doing 3 videos a week and they're averaging a very predictable amount of views, I'm more able to work with more sponsors and it fit in with the content. So that's the way that I sort of get in on that. And I do want to do better at merchandising, but also the benefit James has is with merchandising, he's got this really simplistic, awesome character that can go everywhere. Whereas my avatar, he's cool and all, but it's a bit like too, I don't know, specific. It's a bit too obnoxious, if you know what I mean. Like I don't know. It's just like my face. Whereas James's avatar is like it represents his content rather than just James. I don't know if that makes sense. Anyways, that's the way I see it. I definitely could get better at merchandising, and I have huge respect for how well he's doing with his merchandising and all that stuff. So it's very cool, and I could definitely learn a thing or two and take a leaf from his book. Thank you all so much for watching this vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm just releasing now the stage performance of me and Jaden and Mars at VidCon, so go check that out. Otherwise, I will see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.